Alright guys, Naturegirl 30 here. This is my Hell in a Cell predictions for October 30th that's actually coming up in the next few days, just before Halloween. And I looked on the WWE.com website. I only saw 6 matches, which makes me wonder what happened to the Cruiserweight title match. It's supposed to be at Hell in a Cell. I don't know whether or not they changed their mind. If you know what's going on with it, by all means leave it in the comments. But let's get started with these matches. Now, I want to talk about the 6-man cruiserweight match that's actually going to be at Hell in a Cell. Honestly, guys, Eric Nese is going to probably take it. He's going to beat everybody there. It's a given. Look at the picture. See Eric Nese out in the front. It's a given that he's going to win. So excuse me. Let's be real here. It's going to be Eric Nese for the win. Now, let's move on from there to the New Day versus Sheamus and Cesaro. The New Day has practically crushed every single record that there is for the tag team division. Why do they need the belts? They don't really need it. They're way over. They have cereal. They have unicorn horns that look like phalluses. People love them. People hate them. But other than that, all I can say is that the New Day does not need the belts anymore. But Sheamus and Cesaro is far more interesting and a far better tag team than they could ever be. So my vote goes to Sheamus and Cesaro because honestly, their feud is going to be a lot, their tag team reign is going to be far more interesting than the New Days have ever been lately. And yes, they have done this before. They put oddball couples together for tag team wins before. You know, they did that with Team Hell No, and they've also done that with Randy Orton and John Cena. So we know that they've done oddball couples before. So I think, but this one's going to work. I think that this tag team reign, if they win, is going to go a little bit further than all the other ones did. But honestly, I really do think that Sheamus and Cesaro is going to beat the New Day, and the New Day will no longer be tag team champs. Yay! But other than that, let's move on to the next match. Now, I don't know why this is on the card. I don't even know why this is here. I really don't care much about it, but since I love Bayley, let's just talk about it anyway. Bayley versus Dana Brooke. Why is Dana Brooke on the card? It's beyond me. It's a given that Dana Brooke is going on her own now. She's going up against Bayley, but she has dominated Bayley for the past few days. They don't know what to do with Bayley because Bayley is a 100% true blue babyface that you see in the 80s. But that type of person does not fit into the Raw atmosphere. Hence why I don't know why they picked her. She's better off being on SmackDown. But I'm not going to get into that. The one thing that I am going to say about it is this. Do I think Bayley's going to win? No. By any way, shape, or form. No. I really do believe that Dana Brooke is going to win here, and I hope that they do, because that means she's going to get her comeuppance on a Big 4 pay-per-view, which they should, or at least on a pay-per-view. I want Bayley to have a great match. I want Bayley to be able to get her comeuppance and earn it, because there's a lot of fans that do not watch NXT, that do not know who she is, but she'll actually get people to notice her if she's on a Big 4 pay-per-view or a pay-per-view that mattered. So I'm hoping that this feud actually does continue, and maybe it'll give Dana Brooke some notoriety, because not a lot of people care. I'm just being honest here. Nobody cares that much about Dana Brooke. At least that's in my opinion. But let's move on to the triple threat. Well, not triple threat, but the triple main event Hell in a Cell matches of the night. Now, let's talk about the one that not a lot of people care about, that not a lot of people are interested in, that's just there just for the sake of being there. And I'm going to talk about Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. You thought I was going to bring up Roman Reigns, right? Roman Reigns versus Rusev? No, I wasn't. That match actually is far more interesting than this one. And here's why. When it comes to Seth Rollins unfortunately does not have a leg to stand on because Triple H has took a sledgehammer, broke it, and now he's literally hobbling on one leg, saying he's not in pain, but he's trying to walk it off. He does not have a leg to stand on, and I know I just said that, but seriously, he does not. Without Triple H, there is no feud. Not with Seth Rollins. He's like the third wheel. The guy that is just there while you're on a date and somehow the mom comes along. He's like the mom of your date. That's pretty much what Seth Rollins is. The guy is an amazing performer. He's organized noise in the ring. He's organized chaos, more likely, when it comes to his performance. I love Seth Rollins as a heel. He's an amazing heel. The only problem is that you had Triple H interfere. We have not seen Triple H in months. We've only seen little snippets of him, but we have not seen a lot of him, and he's not carrying this feud. Seth Rollins is doing his hardest to carry the feud on his shoulders, as well as Stephanie, but it's just not working. It's the same thing that Bray Wyatt did with Undertaker. We didn't see Undertaker until WrestleMania, but Bray Wyatt was carrying the feud on up to WrestleMania and nobody cared. The same exact thing in this scenario with Seth Rollins. You don't have Triple H to make the feud relevant. So it doesn't make any sense for him to even have this match. It just don't, in my opinion. I know he's getting his rematch and everything, but this rematch is just stale without any reason behind it. Especially the fact that they're depending so much on storylines to promote these feuds. You have to have some kind of emotion, some kind of heart behind this. Give it a reason why he's fighting, man. Just saying. And when it comes to Kevin Owens, we know who he should be feuding with at this moment. Chris Jericho. They should have broken up months ago, and they should be going at it. I'm just saying. We know it's going to happen. We know the besties are going to break apart. We know that Kevin Owens is going from best friend to good friend to friend. We see the transitioning happen. We see the transition happen between Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens. But they should have broken up months ago. And it should be Chris Jericho in that spot. But the one thing I'm going to say is this. This is freaking Chris Jericho here. Chris Jericho, as much as everybody praises him and say he's like the best he's ever been in years, Chris Jericho has a bigger ego than Vince McMahon. Hence all the pay-per-views he has been in when Chris Jericho has got the win when he didn't need it. But other than that, Chris Jericho wants to go out with a bang. He wants to take that title home for maybe a few months and then drop it at a Big Four pay-per-view. That's my opinion of it all, man. I'm just saying. Possibly at WrestleMania, possibly at the Rumble. It's going to be a Big Four. I'm just saying. I don't think that Kevin Owens is going to have that belt for long. Here's the one thing I'm going to predict it this way. You're going to have Chris Jericho at ringside, cheering his bestie on, doing his best to try to have Kevin Owens to win. He's going to do something to screw it all up. Kevin Owens is going to get pissed at him. He's going to do some kind of move on him to knock him out. Chris Jericho is going to get so pissed. Then he's going to actually do the code breaker in the ring, knock him out. Then you're going to have Seth Rollins coming to pin him. 1-2 kick out from Kevin Owens. There's not going to be a full pin there, only a 2 count. Then you're going to have Triple H later on down the line coming out of nowhere, taking a sledgehammer, knocking out Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is going to lay on the ground. Kevin Owens is going to go for the win. 1, 2, 3, retain the title. Kevin Owens for the win. And Chris Jericho is going to be feuding with Kevin Owens to actually take the belt from him at a Big Four pay-per-view. Drop it at another Big Four pay-per-view. Actually he's going to take that win or either at WrestleMania or at a Big Four pay-per-view, but drop it at Extreme Rules. That's my overall predictions with that entire storyline and that match altogether. If you think you have something better, leave it in the comments. But let's move on to the match that I care about the most, second to the main event. And I'm talking about Roman Reigns versus Rusev for the U.S. title. Now, I'm not going to blame everything on creative because creative have bosses, and the bosses are the one that actually do approve what they write. But in my opinion, they are not listening to the crowd. Everybody hates Roman Reigns. Nobody likes Roman Reigns. He's going to get booed wherever he goes. His actions alone are heelish. His performance has been heelish. He went up against Rusev, not only humiliating him, but humiliating Lana, his wife. Rusev has every reason to go after Roman Reigns and get some kind of comeuppance or retaliation from him. But unfortunately, Rusev, or Ruru, has been downgraded to nothing. He's no longer a beast like he used to be. And now it just seems like that Roman Reigns has the upper hand in every match he's in. Here's what I want. I don't want Ruru. I want Rusev. I want that beast that rolled up in a tank at WrestleMania 31. I want that Rusev. The dude that literally had the Russian army marching out with Lana holding his star of vigilance, whatever it was. I want that Rusev. I want that Rusev to be the beast that I know he is, to go up in there, to beat the crap out of Roman Reigns, to conquer him, to dominate him, to tear him limb from limb. I want Rusev to literally force Roman Reigns to fight for his life. I want Roman Reigns to try to come back at him as hard as he can, but always will fail. I want Rusev to beat the ever-loving crap out of Roman Reigns to get his comeuppance, to take the belt back, and to show him who the boss really is. Well, not necessarily the boss, because I haven't talked about her yet. But other than that, I want Rusev for the win. Rusev, U.S. champion. Rusev, Machka. That's what I want. Seriously, I want Rusev to go up in there like the beast he is, and I want Rusev to literally stomp another butthole up in Roman Reigns. And I know that sounds cruel or crude, but I'm keeping it real here. I want Roman Reigns to be dominated. That's what I want, straight up. I want my Rusev back, not my Ruru. I want Rusev Machka. That's what I want, man. Crush. But anyway, I've talked enough about that. Let's move on to the main event of the night. Now, I have my own personal opinions about this match. This is going to be very historic. The first Hell in a Cell women's match of its kind. Having the most over women, okay, one of them to be the most over than the other one. And that's Sasha Banks going up against Charlotte for the women's title. Now, I'm just going to be real here. I'm scared to death for both these women. And it's not so much because of the fact that they're women. I've seen far too much on Twitter about people saying that the whole thing is that people saying sexist comments about it. There could be some jerks out there. There always are. It's the internet. But other than that, I am scared for these women for one reason. They have not done this before. No one has. There has not been one female that has been in a Hell in a Cell match. I'm not saying they don't have a capacity of doing it. I am saying that they actually pushed them a little bit too far, too early. They should have started off in a steel cage and worked their way up. They should be conditioned for this. They're not. I do applaud Sasha Banks for trying to bulk up, because when it comes to muscles actually do absorb shock. She may not be as big as she wants, but it will help. It will help in the very end. It's not going to save anything, but it'll help. It'll be an assist. I do but I do respect the fact that she actually is taking this seriously. That whole promo that they had on Raw kind of made me wonder, why the heck are you guys not scared? And I know that even when they were talking, they were terrified. Which takes me to Charlotte. Charlotte has been botching a lot as of late. Don't get me wrong, there was a lot of pressure put on them for WrestleMania 32. An amazing match. Thank God, and I was extraordinarily blessed to witness it live. But other than that, I am scared because Charlotte has a tendency to botch when she's nervous. Her moonsault is close to being perfect. Beautiful execution. Her moves alone is amazing. The fact that she's able to blend wrestling moves in with gymnastics as well as other different kinds of styles, I respect her for that. I really do. But I am scared that when she gets nervous, she messes up. You cannot mess up in a Hell in a Cell match. You have to do your best to not botch. And if you botch, it's minor. It's got to be minor. I am concerned about Sasha Banks because Sasha Banks' executions can sometimes be sloppy and careless. When it comes to her suicide dives, she always waits too long to tuck in, and it looks like she's about to land on her neck. She always lands on her neck. That's the one thing that concerns me about her. It's very limited space in a Hell in a Cell. Your execution has to be close to perfect. Not perfect completely, because that's impossible, but at least close to it. It has to be decent. You have to have a well-polished execution when it comes to these matches. You're not going to leave unscathed. You're going to get beaten up. You're going to get massacred. The only possible way that you can actually leave in a decent state is if you don't use the Hell in a Cell at all. They're promoting these chicks to the moon. You know they're going to use the cell. There's going to be blood, people. Blood and makeup. That's what it's going to be. Blood in the hair, everything. These women are going to be cut up and bruised and battered and damaged. They are promoting the crap out of this. They have a lot on the line. There's a lot of pressure on Charlotte and Sasha Banks to perform well. That's what concerns me. This is far too much pressure for them. You have the company literally saying, hey, we're going to main event you guys because you're actually on every single freaking poster there is. There could be a possibility they might be in the middle of the main event card or at the end. Other than that, they're going to be close to the end or in the middle. Still, all eyes on them. I am just concerned that one false move, somebody is going to have their career cut short. I don't want that for these women. I did not want them to have this match because it's too early. They need to build themselves up. Start off being in a steel cage and then work their way up to that. I know, yes, these women have been, Sasha Banks has been in the Iron Woman match. I get that. You had a fantastic technical match with Charlotte between her and Natalya, but they have not had this extreme. I'm not saying that they can't do it, but it's just too early, too quick, and I'm scared that they're just going to mess up out of fear. But all I can say is this. Who's going to win this match? I don't know. It's too hard to say. The WWE had been far too quick to take the belt off of Sasha. They took the belt off of her on a pay-per-view, and then she won Raw twice, which makes me the least amount of confident that she is going to retain her title. Something telling me that Charlotte is going to take the belt from her on a pay-per-view. Charlotte has had more pay-per-view wins than any woman there has been. She won at WrestleMania 32. She's won on multiple pay-per-views after that. She has not lost yet. Will this change? I don't know. I really don't know. But here's the one thing I'm going to say about this. Whether it is Charlotte, whether it is Sasha Banks, they have earned my respect highly for being in this match. If Charlotte wins, I will not care. I will not be upset if she wins because that chick earned it. The same thing with Sasha Banks. They both have earned it. They are going to give it their all. They are going to literally have people remembering that match. That's what they do. That's what they have done. Even if it's a mistake, you're still going to remember that mistake. They are going to bring it on Sunday. I hope that they actually walk out without with their injuries not cutting their career short. But in the very end, they're going to still earn an immense amount of respect from the crowd, including myself. So if Charlotte wins, I have mad respect for her. If Sasha Banks wins, I will always have respect for her. Other than that, it's hard to call. But I want to know y'all's thoughts about this match. Leave it in the comment section below. Who do you think is going to win the main event Hell in a Cell match? Sasha Banks or Charlotte? I want to know y'all's thoughts. Leave it in the comment section below. I'm done here, guys. Those are my predictions. Stay tuned to my review on Sunday. Peace out.